What's up, fellow hunters? Just wanted to start making some videos to document what I'm doing, show other people, hopefully give some ideas. People can, hopefully comment and give me positive or negative criticisms, either one. Just that way I can either make mine better or whatever. So this is my first one to really detail things. I just made this switch box. Everything I do is manual. I don't have any, animations per se. I have a little peekaboo and my monster in a box, but that's it. Everything else is pretty much just one trigger, single action. I just activate the coil on it. The main reason I do it manually is because I have to reserve air. I only have a 25-gallon compressor, and we get 300 plus kids, and I just can't have my air cannon especially going off just every time someone walks by it. Those things just will kill your compressor. So that was the main reason I go manual, just so I can regulate which ones I want to do. When I hear my air compressor turn on, I won't hit my air cannon, stuff like that. And another reason is I want everything to be plug and play. I didn't want everything strung together permanently. So what I did was I wanted to have like cables and stuff. So this is my old switch box, which has had 5 on it. I was only using 4. So the reason why I want to make a new one was because next year I plan on having 7 things, and so this was too small. Plus this was all switches. And when it came to doing my spider, which I have in another video, the switches are nice because I can activate it, it'll go out, it'll stay out as long as it's switched. I can talk, people were taking pictures and whatnot, and then I can bring it back. But on the air cannon, the problem was I had to like hold this and then flick it. And then sometimes I would, panic, or I'd push up and I wouldn't, it wasn't fast enough. So sometimes it would just, a lot of air would dump. So that's why I went with the push button. So now I have, the push buttons for, the push buttons will work for everything. I mean, you guys know how triggers work, but this way it's kind of foolproof blasting an air cannon. And since I'll have 2 next year, I wanted to have the buttons. And what I mean by plug and play was this year I had the prop side was hardwired, and then they came with these little headphone jacks, and I plugged the headphone jacks in, and it worked really well. The problem is that these don't have very good retention on them. Even though I tried to bend them a little bit, there's just no retention there. So a couple times these were falling out, especially when I had them plugged in, and I had to keep handling this to make it work. So what I did was I'm going to go with 1/4 inch because the retention on these is much better. So here I have each switch is wired up to one of these female jacks. And then what I'll do is I'm going to make a bunch of cables. And these cables, they have the jack. So I can make them as long as I want. So I'll have, some 10s up to maybe 60, 70 feet, depending on how I want to route it through my yard so you can't see it. That was another thing, because all my old cables were white. So at least, these are black. This is just SJ 18.2. So it's relatively cheap. I think you get 250 feet for about 60, 70 bucks. And, that's plenty of cable, plenty for now anyway. And these got really good retention. I mean, they're in there. You got to really pull them out. Plus I bent the, the part that holds this in just a little bit, just so they're extra strong. And then what I'll do is I plug this into my mech or my prop. So I just have another jack on that. So depending on where I put it in my yard, I can put any cable on it, once I get my cables made. And because you got to mix it up every year. That also allowed me to make this test button. So I can just plug this into here and then plug this into my prop, and then I have my trigger just right here. It's nice and easy. I don't have to deal with this because there's some money involved in this. I don't want to knock it off the table or whatnot. And I'm also simplifying everything because I'm going to run everything 120 volt except for the things that run off the Peekaboo and whatnot. But like my Spider prop had 24 volt coils on it, but then I had 124 volt like strobe, like a lightning strobe on it. So I had to run a relay and everything on that. So, and it just went at the same time as I triggered it, but because the two different voltages, I had to run a transformer and a relay. This way I could just run, I don't need to run anything. I run the neutral through here and switch it. It goes, bring it back, it comes back. It's nice and simple. So I'll go into detail on when I'm going to do each prop, and do a video on each prop, and explain what I mean, you know, with the females on there, just trying to streamline it, make it nice and clean for storage. That way all my wires are in a tote. You know, all the delicate stuff can be in a tote, packed nice and neat, and I don't have, you know, worry about pulling things out and whatnot. And I'll do a video on my Monster in a Box, my new air cannon that I built, and compare it to my old air cannon, which had some crazy setup on it because I was using stuff that I got for free, and it's like way overbuilt for what it is. But I'll do a video on that, and I just want to try and make videos, see if people are interested, keep me motivated, you know, hopefully. I mean, even if it's just a couple people commenting, that's all I need to stay motivated. Last year I worked really hard and just kind of burnt myself out, and this year I just want to slow it down. You know, making these videos will slow it down, documenting things, and just make it more interesting, you know. And I think this is a pretty good idea. You know, I haven't seen anybody do it. I've seen people use plugs and manual stuff, but you know, they're using the big plugs and stuff, and these are, man, these are sweet. I mean, this is just, it's excellent. So and plus I can take them on and off. I don't have anything hanging off, so if I just want to run 3 of them, I can just plug 3 in. If I want all 10, I got all 10. But I have options, and that's what I wanted, was options. So you know, hit like and subscribe, man. Help me out. Just need the motivation. You know, all comments are welcome, you know, positive or negative. And I'll see you next video. Thanks.